Hello everyone! I hope you're doing really well always. So today I'm going to channel light language for us, and this is part of a video series. I'm doing a light language to help you reprogram your subconscious mind, and then I did a pick a card reading about changing your subconscious mind, so check out both videos. And I'm also going to introduce to you a sleep tape that I've created and explain how sleep tapes work and invite you to work with the sleep tape yourself to reprogram your subconscious mind. So light language in general does work at the subconscious level. So light language is such a beautiful gift. I mean, oh my gosh, I love it so much. I feel like I learn more and more about it all the time. But when I say the subconscious mind, what I'm talking about, for those of you who don't know, is basically like 95% of our mind is considered sort of subconscious. So 5% is conscious. We're directing our, thoughts. We are using discernment. We are saying, well, this is this or this is that. But the subconscious is really the energy that is manifesting things effortlessly for us, such as, our heartbeat, our breath. It helps us hold on to things, so we don't drop it. These are things that we aren't really directly, trying to manipulate or control, but it's things that are just happening anyway, and that's the subconscious power. Now, the other aspect of the subconscious is that it is sort of programmed into you as a child. So around the ages of 0 to 7 or 8 is really when the subconscious mind is being solidified within you, and the subconscious is home to your beliefs about yourself, about the way that life is, and it really can show up, our beliefs show up in our experienced reality or our perceived reality. So when you are in that time period of your life growing up, until about age 7, well, actually, when you are a little baby, you're in delta brainwaves, but when you're a young child and the subconscious is being programmed, you're in what's called theta brainwaves. Okay, so theta brainwaves are kind of a bit slower, and they're the same brainwaves that occur as you're drifting off to sleep, or if you are in a deep hypnotic trance. So what happens in theta brainwaves is that we are very highly suggestible. Anything that is planted, we will not be able to use discernment and be like, well, that is not true, or that is true. We just sort of take it in like a sponge, and it will become true. Okay, so obviously this can be a great thing, if we have really beautiful things planted in our subconscious, but equally we can have things that are, sort of cemented into our subconscious beliefs about ourselves, our self-image, about money, about love, about, health, that can really, really hinder us and block us in a way that can be so frustrating, because it's like, why does this thing keep manifesting? Or why do I keep being blocked from, this goal that I have? And oftentimes, the issue is with the subconscious. So I feel like the subconscious mind is like, there's so much that I could say about it, and inevitably I'm probably not going to be able to fit it all into one video. So I do encourage you to do your own research as well, because this information has really transformed my life, and it's something that I felt like I intuitively knew that there was this subconscious thing going on, but it's like really, really, really looking into it has been life-changing for me. So the way that I personally have been mainly changing my subconscious mind, other than with light language, of course, is through listening to a sleep tape every night. So a sleep tape is a series of affirmations along with light language, well, the one that I created is, and it's got some music as well, and it just really is like this beautiful peaceful thing that you listen to as you fall asleep. Now, I listen to it as it's audible, like it's not the subliminal where you can't hear the affirmations, because I don't really trust them. But you hear the affirmations and the light language. So it's going into that window when you're falling asleep, right? So this is really a powerful and effortless way of transforming your life through targeting that subconscious mind. Because I've worked with affirmations for years, like at least 4 years of really religiously working with it almost every day. I would script, journal, listen to tapes during, my conscious life. But there was, it took a lot of effort, and there was still conscious blocks, because our conscious mind, if we are affirming like, I am so healthy, but we are currently experiencing a state of dis-ease in our body, right? Then our conscious mind can quickly find evidence for how that affirmation is not true. Well, I'm not healthy because I've got a stomach ache or I've got a headache, right? So we can emotionally do the work to continue to affirm at a conscious level. But if we consider that it's like 5% of our mind, then it's so much more powerful to just target the subconscious. Now, The thing with the subconscious mind as well is that when a belief is planted into the subconscious and it becomes like true for you, it is going to manifest as effortlessly as your beating heart. Like truly, you don't have to think about your heart beating every day all the time, but it's doing that for you, right? It's working for you, and it's happening at an intelligence that is far more expanded than just our conscious mind. And this is why I love the subconscious, because it's so vastly powerful. Okay, so if you consider someone who might be really like an example of how this can work is like some people just have imprinted beliefs, within them, whether it's because of their soul's evolution and their soul's journey, or whether that's, because of the childhood that they chose to grow up in or whatever. Some people can have like beliefs within themselves that really serve them, and that other people can like scratch their head and be like, how do you keep doing this? How is it so easy for you to always have money? And it's because it would be subconsciously imprinted within them. Money is easy to make. I always have enough money. Money is easy to come by. I always find new ways of making money. This is what would be subconsciously like within themselves. Therefore, that is what they would be experiencing. So examples. So if someone has a very positive belief, then that will manifest effortlessly for them. Just as equally as if someone has a very negative belief. So for example, about money. If someone has a very positive belief about money, it's easy, it's effortless, all these things, then that is what they will be manifesting. And other people might look at them and be like, how do you do it? How is it so easy for you, right? And that's because it's operating from a subconscious level. Now, equally, if someone has a negative belief about money, or more like a belief about scarcity, right, then that will also be effortlessly manifesting for them, no matter what they might try to do to physically change their conditions. Because the thing with this reality, everyone, is that you cannot change it from the outside in. It simply doesn't work. Now, you can sort of try to use that force and that willpower to modify your physical circumstances, to change what to change from a very physical, like, based place. But if you aren't doing the inner work, then it's, number one, not going to be permanent. And number two, it's not going to feel the way that you think it will feel when you get there. So one of the greatest examples I can give for this is if you have a self-image of someone who is, overweight or something like that, and you struggle with that, but you do all of the effort to physically on the outside in change your body, change your patterns, change your health, but it's still internally, you still have the self-image of someone who is overweight, unhealthy. You still have these negative beliefs going on in yourself of like, it's really hard for me to maintain health. It's really, really hard for me, diets are harder. It's hard for me to eat healthy. Then that is still going to manifest for you. So the best way you can put it is like, even if you do the work to say, lose weight and you technically have your dream body, if your self-image is still of someone who you don't find attractive, you don't find lovable, then you still won't be able to receive the thing that you have created for yourself, right? You will still not be able to receive this beautiful body that you have or whatever it is. So the self-image is so important because it's about what happens from the inside out, right? Not the outside in. And this is one of the things that I think is the most important thing about Earth is like, we have to change from the inside out. And so much of the time we can get sort of lost in these cycles of exerting so much effort, trying to change the physical conditions, trying to change, go on that diet, use my willpower. But it's like, if you do the inner work, if you really change your self-belief, your self-image, that your image of yourself, what you believe about yourself to be true, what you believe about your life to be true, then that is what's going to create permanent change in your life. But also it's going to help you to, when you actually manifest a goal in the physical world, you can receive it with an open heart. You can receive it with absolute abundance of joy. So I think that's one of the biggest things that I've learned is like, you cannot do something from the outside in because it won't even feel like what you think it's going to feel like, And so much of the time we can be like, all that I need is just to move house. All that I need is just to lose weight. All that I need is just to manifest a partner. And it's like, if the internal stuff is still all rotten, then it doesn't matter what's happening out there because the internal will always reflect in the external. And again, we can kind of like Frankenstein our life in terms of like, we can kind of try to create something that is only in the physical and not in the spiritual kind of thing, but it just will not last. It will start to decay. It won't be permanent because the inner cannot hold it. The inner world cannot hold that manifestation, okay? So this is why it's so important to work with the subconscious mind, especially if you have patterns around feeling stuck in a certain area or not feeling able to progress in a certain way. It'll be a subconscious block, like 100%. So the sleep tapes that I've made and that I work with, well, they really do start to shift that self-talk, that self-image, those cemented in beliefs that often aren't even true. You know, these sleep tapes, they work at such an effortless level, and that's why I love it, because so much of the time in self-development, it's like, oh, I have to put in so much effort, I have to use my willpower, you know, and that is still true in life. We still need to do that, you know, we still need to actively take a role in changing our thoughts and things like this. But especially if you're in a period where you're really burnt out, you're exhausted, then honestly, my advice is like, just don't push yourself, just start working with a sleep tape to just like effortlessly start to change the momentum in your life. Because sometimes we can get so burnt out by this world, by this life, and like the thought of the idea of like changing your thoughts can be like too much, you know. It's like, it's too much. You know, like it's like, I don't want to have to affirm that I'm healthy and happy when I feel like absolute shit right now, you know. So this is why I feel like it's helpful, because it kind of creates this like wedge into the subconscious, you know. It's like boom, you get in, and it starts to create space and space and space and space, where I feel like I've really started to become a lot more conscious of my thoughts as they are happening, becoming a lot more conscious of like how my thoughts are actually creating my reality around me. And also, I found that the affirmations will actually start to manifest, and it's so satisfying because it manifests in a very effortless way. Like a manifestation, different affirmations, like for example, if you struggle with abundance mindset, okay, struggle because you see scarcity everywhere, no matter how much you actually have around you or how much resources you have, you still feel scarce, you still feel like it's not enough. Well, if you start to work with this sort of affirmation at a subconscious level, like at a sleep, like doing it, you know, into that hypnotized place of the theta brainwaves, then you're going to start to shift your perception, and you're going to start to notice and produce evidence for yourself of how you actually are abundant. You know, you're going to be able to suddenly see, wow, I've got this beautiful, you know, community around me, or I've got this beautiful opportunity right here, and you can actually receive what is already there for you. And that's what I love, because so much of the time it's a perception issue. You know, so much of the time it's like, oh, you're just not seeing yourself, you're not seeing your worth, you're not seeing your power, you're not seeing your beauty, you're not seeing your ability to have what you desire. So the sleep tapes work to basically clear energy, I feel. Or maybe that's the light language that I put in. I don't know. Something's clearing energy in there. And it's very sort of like subtle. Like the way I would describe it is like, you can't quite put your finger on what's changed. And this is what other people in source codes have described it as well. They're like, it's subtle. Like it's not really identifiable somehow, but yet things are changing. But yet I feel like it's working. But yet I feel like it's making a difference. So yeah, the light language does bring it to a whole new level, I gotta say. Is there anything else I need to say? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So all of the information, like I said, about the sleep tape will be linked in the description box, so you can go check it out. And I very much encourage you to start working with sleep tapes. All right, so we're going to get into the light language. I'm just going to have a little break and take some water, and then we're going to come back in like 1 second for you. Okay, so just take a nice deep breath, become centered in your physical body. So we're going to work a lot with the throat chakra as like the entry point into shifting the subconscious mind. Ikaya shatus a tare mataya shuku mataya ke usa tare chatu sama ayataya kusama taya tu su tushay dadaya taya sa taya chata ke tu ta tu 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 tai tai ta ta tai ta ta tu 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 tu. Ya such amate utakas amochea sat utaya kaya shomat yesatus akash amate uta aleitus ama sheke wata isatus ama yatukaya shamate kaya suts Matai kaya shotutsa mate ke sholuta saya tasha mate kuta ye amate aguta sei chamata yesua. So we're clearing limiting beliefs, right? About you, limiting beliefs like I'm not worthy, I'm not powerful, I'm not this, I'm not that. Yatuka shemate kesu tush ata seya tusa iachemate keya tusa lete. Yeah, it's really coming through like, remember your power. Remember your power. Uayase uateke shomateke solotus ash amatea. Wateke su chatere amba sekesh. Wase taya sutama. Yatuka yesenta shamata. Yatuku shapatea sutush. Gataya samate kesush. Okay, so now we're just clearing energy out of your subconscious. So I'm being shown like, you know, you pick up so much information from your environment, even just like images from social media, so many images stored in the subconscious that do not really need to be there, okay? And I'm just getting this energy. It's like a clearing out of like a hoarding situation, like, you know, no offense if that is something you experience, but I just mean like clearing out of things that you're sort of really holding on to that really don't need to be held on to. And it's kind of an interesting energy that I'm being shown. So we're just going to clear it out. Clearing out this, like, it's like a dusha, it's like a so much information that can become like overwhelming for the body. And it's not about letting go of the wisdom of what you have taken in, because everything holds, you know, information to learn from, but it's about appropriately then releasing, you know, releasing it. It's like almost like something about the releasing system to do with the subconscious. Like there's something that's blocking the ability to just, again, let go of information once it's been brought in, process, and then release it. And there's something where we're healing down the spine. We're actually healing up the spine now. We're healing the ability to process and then release it. There's some kind of a block happening at a collective consciousness level. It's like something isn't always being released. It's really interesting. We're bringing source light up and down the spine, 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 light into the body through the crown, light into the body through the crown, light into the body through the crown. Dashukutus amateya shota seketush ashamate kesutush. Strengthening your chakra system, aligning it. Ateresuch akaya satus ama etekusha seteya. Ush amateke sushatariketasuma. It's like waking up from the hypnosis. Wake up from the hypnosis. Atare suchama ketaya su amate kutaresam chakesha. All right, now we're hoping to you to become aware of the beliefs and the thoughts that aren't serving you, okay? Because sometimes these things are there, but we're not aware of it, you know? Atare tusha kataisam ush ambatresa katosh ale usa atare asuma ekesho mosate atusama takesha musu tusa akash ama eyaturase ataresa ma teke us ata aisha. Okay, now we're just going to flush the body through. So make sure to drink a lot of water after watching this, and you can come back to this at any time. We're just flushing it through. We're flushing it through. We're allowing any sort of stagnant energy to start flowing. We're also pushing out any of the energy that we have now processed and released, and we're releasing it down into the earth below. Okay, we're releasing it down into the earth below. Da shama teke su tush. Really nice. Dora sakata Jesus. Andare sema ke te sholos utoreya. Ush. And we're going to go ahead and plant a couple of seeds into your subconscious now. So you need to consent to this, of course, for yourself, but we're going to plant some seeds of I am worthy, I am lovable, I am love, I am enough, I do enough, I have enough, I forgive myself, I love myself, I am abundant. I am free. I claim my power fully. Dorem echageta solos. Tapoto getae. Tapolo tekaya dorsama. Oh, the light language is just coming through to hug you now. It's just a huge hug from spirit surrounding you in unconditional love. So you remember the love here for you. Dotare ashama ketesh. And we're just gonna raise your frequency. And that's all, everyone. My goodness, that was fun. I send you off with so much love from my heart. And yeah, check out the sleep tape, okay? Bye guys, much love.